have to say, it's actually a little bit humbling to be sharing that stage with so many tremendous speakers. I'm really glad to be here with you. It is really incredible to be seeing what many of you are doing with our platform, and we want to elevate your work even further. And I couldn't be more excited to talk about some of those product innovations that we have in store for this year today. Later on, I will be joined by Nick from our product marketing team, who is a real expert on our employee channels, so you'll see him also in a bit. Before diving into it, let's get a little bit of an idea of the scale of this fantastic organization behind me. We have 300 communicorns, which is how we call employees at Staffbase. It's the largest R&D organization in this market. It's larger than most of our competitors' entire company, right? That makes more than 30 product teams, and we reinvest 1/3 of our revenue into R&D, so that's quite a large commitment right there. That organization is serving 25,000 communicators just like you across 2,500 customers, impacting over 15 million employees. So having talked about dreaming bigger this morning, I think it's fair to say the Staffbase product organization is also dreaming bigger, dreaming about the future of communications. Towards that future, we want to solve your biggest challenges. These are things like communication having become a lot more important the last couple of years, and we haven't yet really developed good ways of demonstrating the true impact towards business goals, right? So let's look at how we want to solve that. With all the many channels, tools, everything that is going on, and this importance to have an aligned narrative across all of them, how can we break down silos of communication teams and really communicate as one? That's the second challenge. The third, kind of the bread and butter, right? Actually reaching and engaging all of our employees with everything that is going on around them. And last, but most certainly not least, just a pure lack of time and bandwidth that we have that keeps us holding back doing our job and reaching our goals. Now, at Staffbase, our mission is to provide you with solutions for exactly those challenges. We want to provide you with a platform, and we think great communication needs a platform. And that operating system is here for you to plan, create, and measure communications across all of these channels like intranet, app, digital signage, Microsoft 365, or email. We want you to reach and engage your employees across all of them and do that in a way that supports you, that makes your work easier, that makes it better quality, but is not an additional burden, an additional tool, and additional complexity, right? We have the most complete platform in the industry, and that latest progress that we had shows how we keep pushing, right? We're not there yet. We want to get better. We want to keep providing you with more value. And some of the highlights that we brought to the market throughout the last year are our new Staffbase Studio with that new dashboard that we saw this morning, integrated Staffbase email, the multi-channel editorial calendar I talked about with a few of you also today, digital signage screen embedding, that was an entirely new channel that we added last year, or things like emoji reactions to improve engagement for employees. So many more new functionalities, improvements across the platform just over 1 year. And as you can imagine, we're not slowing down. So let's talk about how we're working across those 4 challenges, bringing new solutions, starting with the first one, that ability to demonstrate your impact, and how our new Smart Impact functionality and Staffbase Analytics can help with that. First, let's acknowledge about half of the organizations do not measure if employee behavior is changing through communications, but we all know how important our work is to drive alignment, right? And to actually cause change through the organization. So we're essentially operating in the dark, and that's what we want to change. And you heard a lot about that this morning, right? And believe me, I was very excited to announce that on stage, but for some reason my boss stole all the thunder this morning. And I'm sure nobody can relate to that, right? But we also heard about the importance of repetition. So let's talk about that, and I'm sure I can add some additional details that we didn't hear this morning. I'm sure that all of you can agree Smart Impact is a game changer for communicators, right? Starting with smart campaigns as the first of the three pieces, that allows you to set a goal for a larger communications initiative, plan that out in multiple measures to reach that goal. It includes easy ways to create and plan such a campaign, but also a dashboard to easily access key information about it and a comparison on how you're delivering across your multiple different campaigns, right? That's what you're seeing here on the bottom. Those are multiple different campaigns, and you can see how well they are doing across different key metrics. The second piece of this smart feature set is smart checks, and they are that primary way to measure actual alignment, right? So, which is usually the kind of the end goal of what you're trying to do, changing employee behavior. And that's as easy as defining a key question, like how well are you aligned to our sustainability strategy, or how well do you understand our company strategy for next year? And then in every content piece, you can automatically reuse that question and ask that to employees in the moment where they consume the content. Very easy pulse survey, click and you're done. And like Laura and Martin talked about this morning, we see already in the first tests very, very high participation for those small in-the-moment surveys. And lastly, it's Smart Impact. That is kind of completing this package of Smart Impact features. And it's about fully understanding how your campaign is doing in terms of visibility, resonance, and like I just mentioned, alignment, right? How you're progressing over time across those metrics. Those insights are actionable, right? Meaning you can directly use them to course correct whatever goal you're trying to reach. It's really like this Google Maps for employee communications, where when you're getting off track, it kind of reroutes you, or at least suggests you a new route. Eventually, we will be seeing this as premium features, but for now, we'll be launching them as beta later throughout this year, and we would love to give it to you, to many of you to try it out and get feedback. If you're interested, let us already know. We would love to hear from you. How are you measuring impact today? What are the more important metrics that you're looking at? And get your insights on that. This is not all. A few more much requested improvements across our analytics products that we're launching also throughout this year. One is improved community management, so better understanding employee sentiment, identifying trending topics to eventually improve employee engagement as well. Another one is providing more insights on how your audience behaves with content, such as how well hashtags are working, certain hashtags, or how search is being used for what terms, which is quite important for you to understand to then adjust what content you're serving, what questions you're answering. I'm also really excited about a new enhanced version of our email analytics that is directly available in the studio in a consolidated view next to all the other platform insights, making your work even easier to have it all in one place. And last but not least, better user registration insights to even better in the future understand how platform adoption is working over time and not just right now in the moment. Both Staffbase Smart Impact and the various analytics improvement will help you better understand what is going on, improving your communications, and demonstrating your impact. That's a lot, right? Then I would say let's keep moving. Another key challenge is the lack of collaboration to coordinate the many activities that are going on across communication teams, as well as communicating in a narrative consistently and clearly as one. And the state of the sector is confirming this as well. The majority of companies are failing to articulate a clear narrative or designing a calendar of activities. And yeah, again, sounds like we're not really in order with what we're doing there. For that whole area, we have acquired the German market leader last year, the German market leader for comms planning and collaboration. Since then, we rebranded it as Staffbase Communications Control and learned a lot from customers already using that product and customers that are using that product together with the rest of the Staffbase products. This year, we are working on a major upgrade to bring all of this seamlessly into the studio and better integrate it with the other products from Staffbase and launch it globally, so also in North America. A few sneak peeks on what that will mean. First, We heard from many of you that are using 2, 3, in one case even 10 different unique planning tools. We're thinking this is incredibly important to bring all of that actually together into one view, so you know what's going on, and especially what employees are seeing at the end of the day, rather than being bombarded with everything at the same time, and you're definitely not reaching your goal because they will tune out at that point. So we think it's important that you have one place to collaborate and align as a communications team, and a view that is accessible by everyone in that team, that is transparent, right? We believe it's important that there's one place to identify those stories that are planned for one audience, but maybe they're actually also relevant for another audience, and you would have never seen that if you would have not had that view, right? And it's one place to see both the execution of your strategic plan and what posts and content is going for that, and then be able to slot in the smaller ad hoc communication without overwhelming employees in that moment. And that's why we're adding a monthly calendar view on top of the weekly calendar that we already have to solve those problems. You may have noticed that I said across all channels a few times already. It's no news that employees consume information about their company, not just across internal channels, right? Employees are all over the place on social media, in public news. So you need to reach your workforce wherever they are. And we believe that includes especially social media. When I post something on social media as a communicator, 60–70% of that engagement is from employees in my organization, right? So I'm doing employee communication on LinkedIn much more than I'm doing public communication. And beyond that, there's also that ongoing trend of internal and external communication coming closer together, right? That one narrative that we have to tell, where we have to think about topics first and about channels second. And just think of that, key information like an acquisition that your company is doing. You want to be thinking first about that topic and what's your narrative for that, and then secondly, you want to think about what are the timelines, what channels are, in what order, et cetera, et cetera. So Staffbase Communications Control already has those functionalities today, and we'll make sure to bring those external channels like social media also into the studio as part of those updates. And one major reason for silos in communication is planning initiatives by channel. I already mentioned that just now. Most larger initiatives will require cross-channel communication, including internal and external. And we want to elevate your work towards that by bringing you a view that is aligned by the topic and not necessarily by the channels. And this is this topic planning view that we have here, where you can really see your active campaigns, which of those you're serving at the same time. You see overlaps, you see dependency, you might understand conflicts, and that view really helps you to think in the topics and how you're executing them. All right, and with that, we're already at the third category. Let's have a look at better reaching and engaging employees. Those are our individual channel products, and for that part, let's welcome Nick to the stage. And he has some really exciting announcements, many of which are launching in the next days already.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, everybody. So first, we're going to talk about employee email. Special product to me. I used to work at Bananatag before it was acquired by Staffbase. If you recognize me, it's probably from me annoying you in your inbox if you're a Bananatag customer, so I apologize about that. But yeah, the thing that's really amazing about email is that it's more important than ever today. 94% of organizations are still using email for internal comms. And as I think you've heard now twice today from Martin this morning and then from Amy Cuddy, the recent Edelman Trust Barometer found that employee newsletters are actually the most trusted form of communication, which is mind-blowing when you think about it. Maybe less so in the US with what's going on with the mainstream media, but still, when you look at the kind of impact you can have with a company newsletter, it's incredible. And luckily, Staffbase happens to have the best company newsletter builder, and we're going to continue investing in it. And this year, we're delivering a few of the most requested features by our customers. The first is on May 11th. We're launching the ability to personalize your emails with employees' names. We're also going to be adding other dynamic fields in the future that you can further personalize your communications with. And later this year, we're going to be adding support for tables in the email designer, which Sounds like kind of maybe a small thing, but as a lot of people who've used various email products know, tables always break in every email client, right? So we're finally going to be fixing that. Another thing we're going to be doing this year is fundamentally changing how our email product is structured. Right now, you currently log into the email address that you're sending from. So if you want to send an email from internal comms you log into that account. But we're going to be changing that, so you just log into your own personal account, and then all of those sending addresses are structured as aliases. You can share those with your team. Reporting is unified, so you can choose who has access to send on behalf of the CEO, and it'll just be a much more smooth structure for that. Another thing that we're launching in just a few days is our contact API. So we've supported for quite a while building custom distribution lists from a few different products like Workday and Active Directory. Now, though, we're making it possible to connect Staffbase email to any employee data source. So if you use a product like PeopleSoft, you can finally create custom distribution lists in Staffbase email. So that's going to be a big win for a lot of our customers. And finally, for email, we've also made great progress on our SMS product, which we're going to make available in the next few months as an additional lightweight channel for email customers. So if you'd like to try our SMS beta, please get in contact with your CSM. Like I say, that'll be in the next couple months. And then we also plan to make SMS available to customers using other Staffbase products in the future as well. Obviously, though, email is just a small part of what we're building at Staffbase. Now, more than ever, with remote and hybrid working styles, you need a digital home and intranet to send your employees to. And luckily, we also have the best one of those. So Staffbase was just recognized again as the leading internet vendor on the market. In Clearbox's 2023 report, we won 5 out of 8 categories. The next vendor behind us won 2. The 5 categories we won were user experience and appeal, mobile and frontline support, internal communication, admin experience, and analytics. So I think that's pretty amazing. We're all very proud of this accomplishment. But we definitely don't want to rest on our success, and we're going to keep investing heavily in our intranet. And for that, we've got some more big improvements coming soon. The thing I'm most excited to talk about today is our new integration builder. So I'm sure we can all agree that employees everywhere are fatigued with too much digital change. They're overwhelmed with the number of disconnected tools they have to use. And this is a problem we've always wanted to solve, and now we're making it much, much easier. So we've partnered with a company called Neptune Software to build a low-code integration builder. Basically, this makes it super easy to integrate Staffbase with payroll software, absence tracking tools, benefits providers, and more. These new integrations will be very low effort to build, either by your own IT team or by a Staffbase partner. So yeah, cannot overstate how big of a thing this is. We've already seen in some of the testing that we've done, when you bring all of this information that employees need into your Staffbase app, engagement and usage just goes through the roof, which then means your communications get seen more as well. So this is available right now. Talk to your CSM if you are interested in connecting Staffbase to your other tools. Another way that we're improving our employees' digital home is through great design. We're totally revamping our interface for both our app and intranet to make them more modern and more user-friendly. We've got this exciting new user profile page. We've also got a new interactive org chart coming out and numerous other design improvements throughout the year, really to make sure that Staffbase is the best-looking app and intranet solution out there. And we're also improving our employee-to-employee chat. This is an important topic for a lot of our customers that have frontline workers that don't have access to something like Slack or Teams. So we recently added read receipts to our chat. On May 11th, actually, we're adding social reactions. And then soon after that, we'll be adding support for voice messages. So really bringing our chat product in line with what employees would experience in a product like WhatsApp. And finally, as some of you may know, or hopefully know, we already have a lot of the tightest integrations with Microsoft in the industry. I think something like over 90% of our customers use Staffbase alongside Microsoft products, but we're continuing to make that integration even more seamless. Some of the things we already do is allowing you to show personalized Microsoft content directly in Staffbase, show Microsoft files in our search, display news from Staffbase directly in SharePoint. We also have it set up so that you can actually access your front door intranet directly in Microsoft Teams. But now in the next couple days, we're bringing 2 huge improvements for organizations that specifically use Staffbase alongside SharePoint. And the first of those is the ability to automatically sync news created in SharePoint back to Staffbase. So if you're using a SharePoint-based intranet alongside a Staffbase employee app, this is a huge win because now you can just create your news in SharePoint and that will automatically sync to your employee app. And then the other thing we're doing is making it so that you see Staffbase news in SharePoint search. So just further makes it feel like it's one integrated experience for employees. And yeah, just greatly improves their experience. And now we've got one big final announcement, but it's slightly more awkward for me to steal Patrick's thunder, so I guess I probably should pass it back to him.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. Give it a round of applause for Nick. As Nick already said, we got one more really exciting topic to talk about, and I guess you all already know which one is the missing that we, already had a bit around. Before that, can I ask everyone to quickly look to their right, to their left neighbor? Make sure you saw the people around you. Yeah. If you don't know those people yet, maybe a good chance to connect afterwards. There's a break. But do you know what all of these people that you just looked at have in common? The lack of time and capacity to do their job. That is the #1 challenge for communicators, right? And I can emphasize, I'm a communicator myself. I have a weekly department blog. We have Ask Me Anything responses that we're answering. There's all-hand presentations. There's always something going on, and it really takes a lot of time. I totally get it, not even talking about the more strategic stuff, like understanding what the audience could need better, how to improve the formats that I'm doing. The good thing is we're not alone in this world, right? Everybody needs a little assistance from time to time. And in my case, that's people like my chief of staff, Lena, who's helping me to run this organization. It's Pooja, for example, who has been the phenomenal designer behind this presentation. Or my very personal sidekick, Julius, who actually does not accept a lack of time and capacity for playing with him. Right? So everybody needs a little bit of assistance from time to time. And here we have something to help you as well, Staffbase Companion. AI and especially ChatGPT are the talk of the town right now. And as you heard from Laura and Martin this morning, earlier, we just launched Staffbase Companion. For us, this is a really big step. We have always been very deliberate about integrating AI into our products because we see 2 things as critical. First, we want to ensure that it really drives value for you, that it's not just a check mark somewhere, right? We care about you, the communicators, and how you invest the time into the platform. And secondly, the human should always be in control, right? The AI only takes a supporting role. And that's exactly why we called our first major launch here Companion. There's a big list of famous companions, right? Like Batman and Robin, Timon and Pumbaa, Mario and Luigi, Sam and Frodo. I could go on and on. But they all have one thing in common. A companion is always there to help you succeed. You remain in the driver's seat. How excited is everybody about Companion? Great. Then let's take a look at what we've been working on.
It feels like everyone is talking about AI right now. Is this the end of the communications profession as we know it? Well, we don't think so. Communicators are people movers. That's a big job. AI can't transform your organization for you. But if it's done right, it can save you time so that you can focus on what matters. At Staffbase, we want you to stay in the driver's seat. But what about having a personal assistant? Introducing Staffbase Companion, enterprise-ready AI, hosted by Microsoft. Power up your comms with great style and structure, summaries in seconds, jazzier titles and teasers, and a quick fix for writer's block. And this? It's just the beginning. Staffbase Companion makes comms easier for both the editor and the reader. Book your demo to see it in action.
Fantastic. And being here at the conference actually has the benefit of you don't need to book the demo. There's a booth out there in the corner of the big room where you can actually go, and there's a team and they have it prepared, so you can check it out right there. With Staffbase Companion, we want to bring best-in-class communications to your fingertips, right? With just the click of a button, as you saw, you can kickstart your brainstorming, you can write stronger titles or teasers, improve readability and brevity with summaries in seconds, or optimize texts to improve your style and structure. All of that right within Staffbase Studio. Companion runs on enterprise-ready AI, hosted by Microsoft, and that means scalability, compliance, and security is ensured. And the good news, all of that is ready to be tried out today. So let us know if you're interested. We have launched beta access now and are looking for customers that are interested in shaping the next generation of communications with us, such as our customer MAN here, who is starting to try it out now, and they really see a big opportunity to save time, focus on what really matters, and I think what's really an interesting aspect, helping especially decentralized editors, non-professional communicators in the organization, with their tasks that they have for communicating, right? So if you're interested, like I said, approach us, let us know. This is ready now. As you also saw in the video, this is just the beginning, right? We're already exploring further ideas in the space of AI. I mentioned earlier sentiment analysis, even better editor guidance by tailoring things specifically to your audience and how they are using the platform, smarter news feeds, AI-powered search improvements. I could go on and on and on. But like I said before, we want to be careful with this technology. We're rolling this out now as a first feature. We want to understand how is this being perceived, what impact does it have, and then step by step go from there. The future of communications is bright. And yeah, that was just a few topics that we talked about today. There's so much more going on. That's all the stuff that teams are working on throughout this year, or, well, the ones that the teams allowed me to show you that they're working on throughout this year. We're publishing a new roadmap that is like public. You can see it, right? Everybody can see it every quarter. So if you want to learn more, reach out to your contact, and they can share that with you. And like I already said, if you want to see something right now here at Voices, there's this booth from our solution engineering team. Please approach them. And I have just one more thing. After we've seen all these new solutions today, I just want to highlight one very special program that we run in order to innovate even better together with you. We're continuously sending employees from our product organization to customers, just like you, to shadow a communications professional for 1 to 2 weeks and really deeply understand how communication work is being done firsthand and bring those insights back into our organization, right? They use that to deliver even better solutions and really true innovation because they deeply understand what your problems are at work, right? It also strengthens the relationship that we have together. So we started this program in Europe a year ago. It's been a really big success, and we also want to roll it out later this year in North America. So if you're interested in having somebody in your organization, eventually having that very close connection and helping us to improve solutions for everybody, let us know. And with that, I want to say thank you for being a fantastic audience. This was a lot of fun.